I'm flying high like a bird, but my fluttering wings can keep you from pulling me down. Your mama says I'm a fool, and yeah, maybe that's true, 'cause I can't stop thinking about you.
Alright, welcome guys to the first episode of Road to My First Dunk. I'm so excited this series is finally here, and in this episode we're just going to cover dunk sesh footage and a few other basic things as well. I plan in this series to have something informative each episode which you guys can take away, whether that be training related, diet related or recovery related. Which will help you increase your vertical. These vlogs and the series will be heavily focused around those three things, and I'm also going to be traveling in a couple weeks, so I'm going to show you guys how to sort of balance traveling and training if you guys need to do that, and how to get the best out of both of them. We're going to do a weigh-in later on to see where my body weight is at. I plan for this series to be in a caloric surplus, which just means that I am consuming more calories than I burn, which will lead to me slowly gaining weight, because my goal is to slowly increase my strength. Even though the main focus is on dunking, I want to be able to increase, if not then just at least maintain the strength I have throughout the season. So I thought the best and most appropriate way to start this series would be to see where we are on 10 feet. That way we can sort of compare at the start of the series and at the end of the series how much we've progressed, and if people start to watch later on in the series, then they can sort of come back to this first episode and see where I started, and hopefully at the end of the series, if I can get my first dunk, then it can really motivate and inspire you guys that, you know, I started here and now I finished here. And then later on I'm going to take you guys through some of my programming basics, which I'll be doing throughout this series, and then I'll run you guys along throughout my series. I'll run you guys along what I am doing for my programming. So hope you guys enjoy this dunk sesh footage. Enjoy. Okay, as you can see, my 10-foot attempts are way off. I'm usually a little bit better. Both knees are actually really sore. I had a dunk sesh yesterday, had to stop early because of the weather, and didn't really get fully recovered before this session. So that's probably where I'm at, just plus a few inches. I can clear ring on a jump. I can get mid-palm. That's probably the highest I've gotten recently. Some close attempts recently, but not today. And yeah, that's sort of where we're at. But I'm probably going to drop it down back to 9.5 now and just see how I go on that height. Alright guys, we're going to wrap up the session there. Short session, average session. Started off really well, getting 9.5, good height, got some dunks on 9.5, and I'm getting more consistent on that height now. 10 feet, as soon as I put it up there, knees started aching, especially the one I had tendonitis in, and even the other knee, which is my good knee, starting to hurt as well. So that's going to be a big reason why I'm not going to jump on concrete as much. Usually I don't like it anyway, but it's hard to get to an indoor court, but I'm going to try to do everything I can to get to indoor courts for this series, and making sure that I'm really prioritizing my recovery, putting it before my training and my diet, but still paying attention to those two as well. And you know, for those of you who are in the same boat, you're consistent with your training and your diet, but you know, your injuries or your weak joints are letting you down, then definitely follow along this series, because I'm going to put a lot of stuff related to recovery which will help you guys. So make sure to subscribe, like, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Alright, so it's the next morning, gonna do a weigh-in now, pretty much on an empty stomach. Just got these pants on, which probably contributes a little bit of weight. We'll take that into account. 65.8, probably like an even 65.5. Pretty good. I want to try gain a little bit more weight, sort of by the end of this program and this series, which is 3 months, so 12 weeks. I want to probably be around 68, 67. So slowly gaining weight, trying to keep lean. That's the main thing as a dunker. Just, you know, stay lean as possible, and you know, good strength to body weight ratios. But that's about it. We'll get into the programming things now. Okay guys, welcome back to another whiteboard video. It's been a few months. Okay, so I'm just going to run you through my 3 main lifts and the percentages, reps, sets I'll be doing for the squat, bench, deadlift throughout this program. In terms of exercise selection and plyometrics and all that, I will cover that as I go along the series, when I'm doing the workouts, and then, you know, provide on that specific video what the workout is, so you guys can screenshot that. But just so you guys know what my sort of rep range is while I am doing this prep, I've listed it here. So when you start the program, obviously it's going to start off very light, 3 sets of 10. So 12 weeks total. First week, 3 sets of 10 at only 55% of your 1 rep max. Not heavy at all. Now as we go along, as the weeks go by, we either keep volume the same, or we reduce it. So see, it's 3 sets of 10, or it'll reduce 3 sets of 8, 4 sets of 6, 4 sets of 5. Overall volume will reduce as the weeks go on. But as you can see, 3 sets of 10 for the first week is 55. Week 2 is again 3 sets of 10. However, it's at a higher percent of our 1 rep max. So we're slowly, progressively overloading. And then, you know, as we get to 3 sets of 8, we increase it to 62.5%, and so on. Now, a majority of this training is submaximal, which means it's only between about 50 to 55 and 75% of your 1 rep max. The reason being is this is the optimal intensity to build strength, build muscle, work on technique, not doing grinder reps, not getting injured. And if we do too much of that, then it's going to affect our dunking, because, you know, our CNS is going to be fried, we're going to be sore, we're going to be injured, and you know, the heavier the weight, the more chance of injury. So we want to keep it nice and light, moderate intensity for majority of the program. So that's pretty much what is listed here. So 75% is where is probably the max before it starts getting really heavy. So the first 8 weeks is really just submaximal training, making sure our technique's on point, making sure that we can lift with efficient form, things like that, and that we're building strength. So this is really focused on building strength. Now weeks 9 to 12 is sort of when it gets a little bit heavier. As you can see, it goes into 77.5% of our 1 rep max. Then we get into the 80 rep range, so 80%, 82.5, and then 85. So we finish with a slight peak, you know, 3 sets of 3, 85%. Now for weeks 10 to 12, there'll be reduced jumping. So maybe instead of doing 2 to 3 dunk sessions a week, you might do 1, and no plyometrics as well. So throughout this program we are doing plyometrics once a week, except for weeks 10 to 12. So weeks 10, 11 and 12, no plyometrics at all. So the last few weeks we just focus mainly on lifting, and the reason being is because it will put increased stress on our CNS when we're doing these heavier loads. But as you can see, it's just very progressive. Pretty much each week lifts will increase by 2.5%, apart from, you know, big jumps like here, and that just means you're just adding small increments to the bar each week, slowly increasing the demand on your body, and that's how your body's going to adapt to new stimulus and get stronger. So it's a quick rundown, and you know, as you can see, week by week the main thing is the volume will decrease and the intensity will go up. So I am going to wrap up this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Keep up with the series. Episode 2 will be out in a few days, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!